All right. Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce uh, Technical Assistance Workshop on upgrading your online business presence during COVID-19. We're going to give a few moments to get everybody on board so everyone's clear about what we're doing. So just give us a few moments and we're going to start at exactly 10:05. But I want to thank you for joining in. Make sure that you please share this. This is being broadcast live on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, please share it, create watch parties so that more people can get an understanding of how to expand their business during this COVID-19, leveraging the online platform. So just give us a few moments and we're going to get started. Thank you for joining us. All right, those watching on live on Facebook is going to give us the 2 more minutes, so we're going to start up. We have a very exciting presentation today, very helpful with Patrick here today. So we're going to just give us a few moments and let everybody join in. Please start sharing now and let people know that we are here today.
So we're ready, Eric. Matthew.
Give us a few more moments, Patrick. We are going to get started in 1 minute,
All right.
10:05 exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah, we are broadcasting live.
Come on, Matt. Why are you calling me? Matt, why are you calling me? Matt, send me a text.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Or good morning, everyone. I want to thank everyone for joining us today, this Thursday morning. This is the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Technical Assistance Thursdays. Every Thursday since COVID-19, we've been hosting business leaders and entrepreneurs, small business owners, and our partners to come and bring the latest information on how businesses can respond to COVID-19. We've been curating these conversations over the past few weeks alongside our daily calls that we do every day with members at the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce and the public to get the latest information when it comes to responding to COVID-19. We are proud and excited about the people that have been joining us and part of this conversation. Please note that as we go through today's workshop, you can join. If you're looking at this on Facebook, you can click the link to join a Zoom live so that you can ask questions online, be a part of the chat, and really engage with us as we host these events. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I want to give a few moments for our president, Mr. Eric Knowles, to welcome you to this workshop that we have today. Mr. Knowles, you're on.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here with us this morning, Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank Matthew for his work in bringing this most valuable information that we share with our members, and definitely want to thank Patrick Alexander for sharing the knowledge that he has today in terms of upgrading your presence from a technology perspective. As Matthew said, we meet every day at 4 o'clock with the chamber members just to exchange information. And I always use this little analogy, simple information as, did you know that you can call your car insurance company and get a reduction on your car insurance? A lot of us aren't driving right now, so car insurance companies are reducing their pay. And one of our members yesterday even talked about his business insurance, and he reached out to his insurance company that he has his business insurance with, and they gave him a reduction. Another thing I want to pass on to you before we move on is that Tools for Change and Partners for Self-Employment, they have a loan package now that it's a first come, first serve. They're providing loans up to $25,000, and it will be forgiven if you meet the requirements that are expected from this loan. So you can check with Tools for Change online, as well as you can go to Partners for Self-Employment. But also the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce has a microloan program, which we are doing. We reduced the loan percentage rate to 4%. So check us out, and I'm gonna get out of the way and let Patrick and Matt proceed with the program.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Always the pleasure to hear those words of wisdom and also information. Please make sure you follow up with Partners for Self-Employment, Tools for Change, to get more of an understanding of those programs President Knowles just mentioned. Now we're going to get to why you're here today. Now, as we enter this COVID-19, where social distancing is a part of ensuring that we stop the spread of this virus to protect ourselves and our families, we still have to do business. We still have to figure out how to bring in income for our families. And that's why we're excited to have Mr. Alexander here today, because now with this new normal, going online and the online platform is going to be critical to driving businesses or driving clients and potential customers to your business and opportunities. So today we have one of our members of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Patrick Alexander. He is the CEO and founder of Balambio, a professional website and online solutions firm specialized in making companies look better than the competition online, starting with a stunning professional website. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Computer Sciences and Mathematics from Cameroon University, MBA specializing in MIS. Patrick is a tech savant and enthusiast who has devoted himself to the tech industry for over 20 years, gaining extensive experience in programming, web development, cybersecurity, and system administration, and a resume with the related positions in the U.S. military, universities, and internet startups. Patrick hails from Dominica, the nature island of the Caribbean. His personal motto is living an unordinary life, fuels him daily to be a motivated and driven individual who works and steadfast discipline is his recipe for success. So I would like to bring on Mr. Patrick Alexander. Welcome, Patrick. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Thank you. I actually enjoyed that introduction. Said with a lot of enthusiasm. Thank you. I enjoyed it.
That's what we man. We got to keep this live for our people that's watching
Yeah.
online, and we want to make sure that what you bring, what you offer, is appreciated, because what you're doing here and assisting our business community is phenomenal. We want to thank you for that. So we'll stop talking. I will let you share your insights and nuggets of wisdom with our business owners today.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. So just in case we don't have a Q&A, and we may not necessarily need a Q&A based on the approach I'm going to use here. So anyone that wants like a consultation afterwards, and at the end, we're going to have an offer which looks like this, where we're going to offer like five people updates to the website for the next 60 days. So if that's something you know off the top of the bat, you're going to be interested in, you're going to have more questions, you can go to our website, balambio.co, click on services, and click on COVID-19 60-day requests. So just in case, so we would update 5 chamber members or 5 persons on this call, right? We'll give you free updates to your website for 60 days.
And Patrick, you know that for those that are attendees that have joined online, they can always put their questions in the Q&A box and use the chat function. We do have some people on Facebook that can click the Zoom link to register to be a part of that conversation. We'll try our best to pull in comments we have on Facebook Live, but they use the Q&A function to ask any questions that you may have. So you got it, Patrick.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that, and just in case they don't get to do the Q&A. So what happens is that we're going to share this. So this presentation, right? Thank you, Matthew. It's about, let me share my screen right now. Oh, I haven't shared my screen yet. Huh? Let me share my screen so you guys. It says the share screen option is disabled for attendee.
All right, you probably have to use your other screen. Hold up. You got actually a few log-ons. Let me try and help you out with that.
The very first one. You have to rename myself, main presenter.
All right, go ahead and try again now. Okay. Right, are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, share my screen. It says disabled. All right, I put myself as the main presenter. All right.
All right, try again now.
It says host disabled attendee screen sharing. So what you may want to do is to enable it for everybody for now. Just so persons, let's see here. Again, that's tech. There's always technical difficulties every now and again. And again, so my name is Patrick Alexander. I am the owner of Balambio. And what I'm going to share with you here is the way not only to keep your business relevant during COVID-19, but COVID-19 and beyond. Because what we all have seen is that the companies that seem to be doing well during this time are companies that have significant online presence, and also they can keep driving customers to their website. And what I also want to say about the presentation is, even if I got it now, thanks, Matthew, I can share now. Matthew, I can share.
I got you.
All right, so let me do this. So what I was saying is that even if you don't necessarily sell, you don't have an e-commerce store, there should still be a way for you to remain relevant during this time, where you're not losing business. You can pivot and pivot well. So essentially, my goal is at the end of this conversation that everyone is a bit more optimistic about the online presence, like these people right here. They're not practicing social distancing. So as you can tell, this picture was taken before COVID-19, but COVID-19 is the new normal. So I'm gonna share some tips with you, industry tips, that if you take them on, your business will do well online during COVID-19 and beyond. So that's my goal of this presentation. The very first thing that everyone needs to have right now is a professional website. And a professional website has a few caveats, a few things that you need to have in a professional website. It needs to be easy to navigate. It needs to be captivating. As soon as someone goes to your website, they need to be wowed. And the few things that enables that to happen is quality pictures and quality content. Your website is not an online brochure. I had actually had a potential client one time asked me and said to me that, hey, I don't necessarily need an upgrade because he views his website as a glorified brochure or glorified online brochure. And I never quite understood what he meant until I actually ran into a prospect that does business with the government, and the website looked like a glorified brochure. And what I mean by that is all the capability statement, everything was just jam-packed on the homepage. And I actually got what the customer means to have a website as an online, a glorified brochure. So a website is not a glorified brochure. A website, the goal of your website is that it has to be professional, it has to be captivating for your audience, and it has to be laid out properly. So if you want to wow your clients when they go to your website, you may want to have it designed by a professional, where it's brand adhesive, it's coherent with your branding, it's laid out properly, and it's actually telling the message that you want to tell. And if you notice, one of the next time I'm going to go to is going to talk about how it has to look at the mobile setup. In this picture, you can see here 3 different versions viewing of the website, right? How it looks on mobile, how it looks at an iPad, and how it looks at on a PC or a laptop. So that's the very first thing. Your website has to be professional. And I explained what it means to have a professional looking website as opposed to having a glorified brochure. The next thing that you need to ensure is that your website is mobile friendly, and more so now than ever for a few reasons. Most people, including me and you, whenever we get someone business card or we're looking up something, the very first thing that we get out is a smartphone. I think one of the few people I know that don't have a smartphone, maybe it's my mom. She doesn't care too much for the latest technologies. But for persons like us, that's in the business world, right? We all have smartphones and we all look up websites on a smartphone. So if you have a website that's not mobile friendly, you're not in the game. And also the way you can tell if a website is mobile friendly is when you put it up when you bring up a website on your phone, if you actually have to stretch the screen to read what is there, it's not mobile friendly. So if your website is in that boat, you definitely want to get out of that boat. Another advantage of having a mobile friendly website is that as of like 2014, 6 years ago, Google mandated that what Google did is, and search engines as well, if a website is mobile friendly, it ranks it higher in a Google search. So if you're in business and your competitor has a website that's mobile friendly and yours is not, theirs will come up faster. Right? So these are just some key reasons why your website in 2020 needs to be mobile friendly. Something else that your website needs to do, especially now, again, everybody's at home and everyone is at home and they're actually using their phones and their computers to look you up online. So they're looking you up. You need to know who is looking you up, where that traffic is coming from, right? So what you need to have on your computer is a way on your website, is a way to keep track of that. One of the more popular ones is something called Google Analytics, right? Google knows everything. So you install a module called Google Analytics on your website, and it gives you all kinds of data from where the persons or visitors are coming from, how long they stay, what computer they're using, what age group what age range they are, which country, location. So if you, as I said, one of the way you want to pivot right now is to, if you don't have this installed as yet, you need to get it installed. And if you do have it installed, actually review it, see where your traffic is coming from. So if you decide to embark on an online marketing campaign, you have this data readily available for you to analyze. And as I said, Google really gets into the person's coming to your website business. They tell you essentially everything. And if you look at it, even like right now, somebody's on your website, they'll tell you where they are, they're live. And if you want to find out stuff like, hey, why do I get so much hits from China or one of these countries that like to do hacking? Maybe they're trying to hack me. I need to let my web host provider know about why am I getting so much traffic from China, and I don't have customers in China like that. So these are just some of the importance of keeping track, getting data. Data analytics is really important. That's how Google is making their money right now, just constantly analyzing data. That's how Facebook makes their money, constantly analyzing customer data, customer relationship with their platforms and their campaigns. So there's no reason that you shouldn't be doing the same thing for your business. So if you don't have analytics on your website right now, you definitely need to get that. The next thing we're going to talk about is SEO friendly and optimized. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And essentially what it refers to is that your website, your content has to be set up in a way that if someone is searching on Google or any of the search engines, that your website comes up, your content comes up. A key way to do that is to ensure you have a lot of relevant keywords and meta tags, right? Keywords, meta tags, and also be mindful when you're loading content. So if you uploading a picture to your website of a bicycle, for example, you don't call it pic one or file one or picture one or image one. But if someone searches for image one, there's over 100 million image ones going to show up in a Google search. So that picture that you will be updating, or that content or file that you put on your website, you want it to be relevant to the article or the product that you're selling. So that's one of the ways to ensure that your website content is SEO optimized. And I know that some persons that took SEO 101, right? The first thing they speak about is keywords. But you want to ensure that if a keyword is on a website or a page on your website, that the content for that referencing this keyword is there. And what I mean by that is, if you want to, again, sell bicycles, for example, and you have this as a keyword on a page and there's nothing about bicycles on that page, Google will flag you, because what you're trying to do is just keyword manipulation, right? So if you're trying to do any kind of keyword strategy, when you're putting that content on that page, ensure that that keyword is part of that content. And one of the things about SEO, it starts on your website. There's other things that you need to do as well to ensure that you end up on the first page of Google, but it starts, you still have to ensure that these things I mentioned, keywords, meta tags, naming files appropriately, is done on the website. So if this is not done on your website right now, you may want to have a website review to ensure that this is happening for every page of content on your website. Another big, huge is online reputation or reviews. In this day and age, I would want to say this is maybe one of the most important thing for every business that's online. Your reputation, your Google reviews, your Yelp reviews, your Facebook reviews. Because when someone searches for you, that's one of the very first thing that comes up. I remember having a prospect, and they were saying we spent thousands on online marketing and we don't see the results. And I just took a quick look. I searched for them. They had about 7 locations. None of these locations for a Google review had more than 2 stars. So essentially, if you're in that boat, you're throwing money down the pit because you're doing online marketing. So that means someone's going to search for you. And if they search for you, what they find is not favorable to you, then you wouldn't see the results. So one of the things that you want to ensure is that your Google reviews, they're up to date, relevant, and don't also game the system. I've had prospects tell me as well, Yelp refuse to post their reviews. And what Yelp means, what it means by that, what the reason that Yelp does that and they don't do it manually is that automatically. There's no, I mean, you could be the best business person, right? There's no way that 100 people review you and everyone gives you 5 stars. It's someone will have an axe to grind. They will give you 4 instead of 5. So if you're trying to get pitch perfect, these algorithms say it's just not possible. No one is that perfect. That means you have no room to improve, right? So you want to be mindful of that. You can ask your clients to give you reviews and also take hold of it, manage it, own it. So if someone gives you a not so favorable review on Google, you're professional about it. Say, hey, I'm sorry you had this experience. Contact us. We'll take care of it from a discount, whatever it looks like. Because again, someone, unfortunately, we're in this day and age that persons focus on the negative. They might, if they have an accident, if they're just not happy, they're more likely to give you a bad review than a good review, right? If you're not the one asking them to do it. If they're just upset and say, I'm going to make this company pay, whatever they feel like they're going to. So if you're on Google, if your reviews on Google are negative, even if you give excellent service and the negative persons are the one that jumped in to review negatively, you need to own this thing. So one of the ways to own it is, one, you give a courteous feedback, you ensure that you own that Google My Business. And the way you do that is if you search for your company, the review comes up, Google asks, are you the owner? And if you say yes, then all you have to do is to sign in for Google, if a Gmail or Google-based email account, and you can have them, they have to verify you. They verify you in one of 2 ways. They could call the number listed for the business, ensure that you answer, or they'd send you a card in the mail for that business. But any which way, if you have a business on Google, if you have a business online and it's being found in the Google search, you definitely want to own it. In addition to that, the way you combat negative reviews is by positive reviews. So one of the things you definitely want to do is to ask as many of your customers, right, to leave your review. One of the things we did with one of our clients that's a dentist, we set it up where as soon as the patient leaves, that same reminder text that they get, it sends them a text asking them to leave this client a review, and it goes directly to that location in the Google review section, and we've seen great results. So the reviews for that customer went up like 90%, and it turned her reviews as well. So that's some little tips and tricks. And one of the reasons, again, I'm spending a little bit more time on this right here is that this is crucial. People accept, or they really pay attention to reviews left by other people, right? Especially if you ever buy a product. I do it all the time. If I'm buying a product on Amazon, I look at the reviews before I purchase. So potential clients, prospects do the same thing. So if you don't do anything after this call, reach out to your clients who love you and say, hey, this is the link, go to my Google and leave us a review, all right? And that's essentially part of what is called your online reputation management, right? And this is really a longer topic than just Google reviews, but if that's something that you're interested in, you could always speak to request a consultation from us, and we can delve more into other things that is involved in online reputation management, but the reviews are the more popular ones. All right, the next is social media. So after, again, if I have to rank things that you should be doing, especially in this age, reviews probably would be number one. And again, having a professional website if you don't have one, and social media. You want to engage your clients where they are, from Instagram to Facebook, right? And if you have a young audience, you go into TikTok. And for a business professional, LinkedIn is definitely out there. You also want to do it in a responsible way. And again, I put social media on there. It should be social media engagement. And then an engagement is a two-way dance, right? It's not just you pushing out content every 5 minutes and just saying, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. Engagement really is you show that you are an expert in your industry. You post relevant content for your contents for your audience. In addition to that, when they leave your feedback or comment, say thank you or tell me more, right? You want to be engaging, not just posting for posting's sake. And that's how you are successful in these areas. And you don't, if you're taking on social media engagement, don't post once every 2 years or once every, you're engaging, right? I mean, probably minimum twice a week, right? So you don't want to overdo it, you don't want to underdo it, but you definitely want to do it, right? You want to engage your clients, and engage, as I said, means it's a two-way dance, not just pushing out stuff and hope that they buy. And you don't just sell. You post, you can show how to do this, how to, like in my industry, sometimes we do workshops on how to create your own website, right? You can always give persons relevant content, something you think that would be beneficial to them, not just trying to upsell them on your products and services. And also you can promote other relevant stuff in industry on there as well. The social media engagement, number 6. Number 7, this is something that you definitely want to ensure, we call it future-proof. Future-proofing your website and your platform. So if your website is less than 4 years old, if your website is greater than 4 years old, right, it's not future-proof. And I say 4 years, I'm being nice, it should really be like 2 years. And what I mean by that is that most of us, we update our cell phones, right, every year or every 2 years. And apart from having the latest and greatest looking phone, right, you always want to ensure that your software, what is actually used in the cell phone, is being updated. That's the reason that the carriers send out these frequent updates every 6 months. I just had an update from my Apple phone a couple of days ago, right? And the reason that they're doing that is ensuring that your product is future-proof. So if you have a website that's created and it hasn't been touched in any way, no one went in the back end and updated the modules, right? Then you might be in what is called a ticking time bomb, where you could get hacked, right? So a lot of updates on the websites and modules and cell phones as well, they are security updates. So you want to ensure that your website, your platform is always up to date in all ways, even in terms of content, right? So that's one of the ways that you future-proof your product. Something else that you want to do, especially in this time, is something called a website audit. I'm always amazed that the number of persons or clients have never had a website audit done and don't even know what it means. So a website audit is similar to an accounting audit, where you have a company like ours or an outside entity that didn't create your website, go in there and just check everything. So what happens is, on a website, not because it doesn't appear on a link or on your menu, that it cannot be found in a Google search. So there's a way that we search, we peruse every page on your website and ensure that the content that's being found in a Google search is what you want to be found. From test pages that shouldn't be there, to dummy content. If your website was created with a template with dummy content, to security exposures, like I can just do a certain search and tell what your username for the backend of your website is, right? So again, this, if you cannot see it, that doesn't mean it cannot be found. So that's the key reason for an audit. And if your website is hacked or customers can find stuff that you don't want them to find, that would definitely upset your customers' experience. So that's something now that, again, you have more time to dedicate to your website. You could do it yourself, or you could have an expert outside company that didn't create your website do a website audit for you. Something else that's really crucial, one of the things that we advise our clients to do is to keep up to date with technology trends and things that's happening. This, and in that, what I mean by that is this right here, ADA compliant or ADA accessible. Your website needs to be ADA, at least ADA accessible. And I'll demonstrate what it means in a little bit. Let me show you real quick what it means to have an ADA, what it means to have an ADA accessible website. So you go here, and to have an ADA, so this is what it looks like. You have an icon right here. You click on this, and you select different features. For persons with disability, it's helped them a lot, where you would click on this link and you could click on like read page and stuff.
Screen reader enabled. User way accessibility menu closed. Use the arrow keys to select items to read.
The content.
Ready to consult.
Right.
Our team of skilled designers is ready to keyboard navigation enabled.
Okay, so that's kind of, this is what it means to have a website that is
reading pace fast to keyboard navigation disabled.
Right. This is what it means to have a website that is ready for the disabled community. A few reasons that you actually need to have that is because it's the law. And I gave an entire presentation about that on the chamber, at the chamber. It is actually the law to have a website that's either accessible or compliant. And the law was passed in 94 on the Bill Clinton administration, and saying that essentially all technology has to be accessible to the ADA community. And in 2017, just a few years ago, one of the first, I would say, victims to that law was our own Winn-Dixie, where they got sued for the website that being accessible by the disabled community. And since then, a number of companies have been sued for not having an ADA compliant or accessible website. And what I just showed, it makes the website accessible. It's not for it to be fully compliant. Some of the features that are available through the accessibility module would have to be implemented on the website at the core. However, having it accessible is okay. You could definitely avert a lawsuit if it's accessible. And so apart from averting a lawsuit, having a website accessible to someone with a disability is very, very important. Again, there's things that we take for granted for a site, for example, right? And there's a percentage of persons that can't even see, and you may want them to be your client, right? So that experience has to be seamless for them as well. Again, this is a really deep topic that I give an entire presentation on. So if you want to know more about this, you can always be in touch with me as well. The last thing I want to mention is the online chat feature. So again, your company, so a lot of us may have more time, quote unquote, on our hands since our businesses are not, or physical businesses are not taking off or not in full function as it should be. One of the things that we can do, or you need to do, if you have your business and you want to focus online, is to have this online chat feature where someone goes to your website, like this website here, right? So you have this setup of this website here, and they fill out something like this, all right? You see I'm not a robot. Let me see. Okay, all right, good. And then you just kind of, you jump in here and you start chatting, right? You start chatting with a bot. So you do the same, you have the same thing set up on your website, right? You have the same thing set up on your website, and you just engage your customers. The good thing about a feature like this is even if you're not there, you can have it send a notification to your cell phone, or the customers can leave a message. Or once it's sending you, it's like having WhatsApp on your phone, for example, right? Some of these modules to set up such like WhatsApp, you can actually engage the customer right there with your chat from that chat application that's linked to your website once it's installed. So that's a good way to constantly engage your customers, even if you're not. Again, it's a good way to constantly keep in touch with your customers, especially if you're doing online marketing, right? You want to measure the analytics. So, and so that's, yeah. So really, at this time, if we have any questions, you can answer questions. And also, let me just mention real quick, we are giving, so for 5 persons on this call, if you're interested in like a consultation, but more importantly, having updates on your website for 60 days, right? You can go to our website and fill out this form, and we're giving 5 persons. So you go to balambio.co, you go to services, you click on COVID-19 60-day request, and you fill out this form, and we will do 5 customers, 5 new customer chamber members, or anyone on your store. 5 of you will be selected to get a free website update. Baf, you can take some questions at a time. I can, and before I wrap up, I'll just go through all the slides again. Any questions from anyone?
Awesome. Well, thank you, Patrick, very much for providing these 10 tips to upgrade the website. As I was witnessing and listening to the presentation, you hit on some key things that I think probably need to be reiterated and move forward. I love the importance you put on the online views and reputation for the reviews. Especially your comment about using an online platform to instantly get immediate reviews right after the customer participates. Do you have any suggestions for any programs to do so? Because I know when people go to your website, they may order from you. Like, what do you do to get those reviews? Is it email, tech? What do they do to actually get that review immediately? And it's kind of maybe automatic too.
Right, so there's a few ways process use. So it's really one of the primary ways that you engage your customers. So if it's an online purchase, the best way is an email. And say, hey, leave us a review. I'm not sure of the legal part of saying you can get a 10% on your, yeah, you can do that. Say 10% on your next purchase. You want to incentivize them sometimes to leave your review, right? And so that's one way. Again, the client we mentioned, she's a dentist. She don't email her customers. She has a program that automatically texts them, right? So we said, hey, if you're texting them for appointments, let's have you text them that link as soon as they're done, right? to go and leave your review, and it takes them directly to that page on Google to leave that review. That's section on Google. If you engage your customers through telephone, you can always call them up and ask them to leave your review. So it really depends on your business, but these are three approaches you could use.
So I guess I want to get you a little more specific, because with these various types of businesses, some of them don't even, I don't know if they even have the email marketing setup to be able to send those instant emails. And I don't know if it's some platforms that are easier to communicate after someone purchases. And then what does that process looks like? Because I know I have a limited experience with some of these platforms and working with business owners in my own business. And many times the process to set up that autoresponder, it can be a little tedious.
Right. So yeah, I get it. So what I would say is, so every case is very individualized. So what I'd recommend is that they really contact me, contact us, and we have a conversation about which approach is best for them. So not every company necessarily needs to subscribe to one of these Google, those review platforms that automatically ask you for a customers list and blast them with emails and constantly. Not everyone necessarily needs to do that, right? So it's very specific to a business, what approach you want to use. It's just like online marketing. Not everyone wants to do paid ads. Not everyone wants to do Facebook ads. Not everyone wants to do Instagram, right? So it depends on your business. So if you give me a specific business, I can tell you that might be, right? This might be the best or an ideal approach. With that said, at the core, you want to manage your reputation. You want to get on, especially if you have two reviews. And something else I didn't mention is that if you're a company that has like 1,000+ customers and more than 500 customers, there's no reason you should only have 2 reviews on Google, good or bad, right? That's another thing. It accurately reflects your business. Does that make sense? Like if you have 5,000 customers, you shouldn't have 2 reviews. You should have at least 100, right? So that's it. So as I say, it's very specific to the business, the approach you use, right, and your strategy. So it's not a one hat fits all. So I wouldn't. So if you want me to start recommending different platforms to use to do that, that's something I wouldn't necessarily want to do, because then someone, as you mentioned, that if you adopt a platform, there's a learning curve, right? Do you really need a learning curve to go on to a learning curve to add maybe unnecessary stress to if you're not there yet, right? But at the core, if you have a negative review on Google, you always start combating strategies to get this up, even if you just get 10 people to give you 5-star reviews to take you over the hump.
Okay. So there's a few. I think our president just joined us. Go ahead.
I'm jumping in. First of all, I want to thank Patrick for this great information.
Your mic is a little low.
I'm a little low. Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Okay. I'm saying I'm taking a personal point of privilege, and again, thanking Patrick for this great information, and also thanking him for, as he said, he's going to do, I want him to be very clear on, he said he's going to provide service to 5 businesses. So I want him to be very clear on what that is, but also I wanted to be very clear that will, and I know he said this, but I want to qualify this and clear this up. That will be to 5 members of the chamber.
That's 5 members of the chamber.
Members of the chamber, because you are a member of the chamber and you're providing this service, and we truly appreciate it. And that's, again, as far as added value for being a member of the chamber. And then I will say this, if anyone joins the chamber, we will give them a discount for joining the chamber today. So I will take $75 off of anyone who joins the chamber today as a member, but you have to be a member to get Patrick's service also. Exactly. So I'm a businessman, and we conducting business today.
Thank you, Mr. Knowles. It is very important. This is what we do as a chamber, to be able to provide services to our businesses, as Patrick is doing with his online business. And that's what we do. We are supporting businesses through our work, and we want to make sure that we're reciprocated so that we all can provide for our families and what we need to do. So there's actually quite a few questions I'm seeing in the chat, in the Q&A.
Let me address what Eric mentioned real quick as well.
All right, go ahead.
So ideally, after this presentation, you will also email out the link as to how five chamber members can request 60 updates, right, to their website for 2 months, for 60 days, right? And we're going to select 5 members. With that said, we're not going to create a brand new website for you. Right? It's not a free. We can give you a code. We can give you a code. I want to make sure we're clear on what we can. It's really within reason. Everybody knows, like, you offer persons free stuff for a business, right? It's really within reason. And we'll have a discussion of it. We're not unreasonable, but I just gonna let you know we're not gonna create a brand new website for you. So it's like, well, I'm gonna get this for free. So every change I didn't do since 1990, we're gonna ask them to do it, right? So it's within reason. So hopefully that clears it up. It's a case by case basis. We're not gonna tell you we're not gonna do it, but it's within reason. So basically we're gonna make sure that some of the things that we mentioned, I went through on the slide, that your website is ready and is ready for this time stage that we're in. Right.
Patrick, thank you very much for stepping up and providing that services for those that are watching today and our chamber members. So make sure that our chambers members take advantage of that. We have 3 questions in the Q&A right now. We want this to run through. The first is from Nicole Gates. He's actually the owner of Little Greenhouse Grill, a prominent restaurant in downtown Miami, actually Overtown area. And she asked, wouldn't the POS have a data capture to collect emails easily?
When you talk about POS, you're talking about well, again, it depends on the POS that you, and I guess.
And could you define POS for those that don't?
Yeah, POS is point of sale. So if you took your POS as up to date as possible in technology, because there's a POS that I think is Square that has one. And I probably give my information at one restaurant, right, or one place, and every place I go to that has a Square platform, it recognizes me and sends me an email receipt right away. So it depends on the POS that you have, if it's set up that way, and it should be set up that way, ideally. Hopefully I answer the questions.
All right, yeah, you got that. So another question is from Tracy Bruce. She actually owns IT data company in South Florida. And she said she's considering rebranding my company and the website URL will have to change. Is there any recommendation you can give me when making this transition?
So this has to be a more case by case. Is it gonna be rebranded with the same content, or you just want a complete, if you just want a complete image change and just do everything from scratch? If you want it to be rebranded where you're gonna use the same content, right? So then you can have it forwarded to the new website. And if you're concerned about that SEO and that Google search traffic, then you have to have a more deep dive into how to do it strategically. But if it's a fresh start, then you just go for a fresh start and you don't have to worry about what's already there. Just shut it down when necessary. So again, all of these are very specific to what you're exactly trying to accomplish.
Awesome. All right, we have another question from another chamber member, Alonzo Gomez, who actually owns a janitorial and cleaning company in South Florida. And he asked, do you recommend offering a discount on the spot if the customer leaves a review?
You can offer it and say, hey, go ahead, leave us a review, you get a discount, right? It's just great service. You can, and again, what does it mean by on the spot? Does it mean after the purchase, or so don't so if that's why you're asking, not incentivize them to buy something or discount. It shouldn't be. It's not something that you're trying to almost bribe someone to give you a review, right? So that doesn't work. Don't bribe someone to give you a review. You say, hey, leave us a review, get 10% off your next purchase. If you leave us, does that make sense? Not like, well, we try to strong arm you to leave us a review. So do it professionally. That doesn't work, because then the person will have to say, I got paid to leave a review or whatever it looks like. So that's something that you want to be very, it's a thin line, right? It's just like how I said that, remember I mentioned that some companies, they're upset when Yelp don't post their reviews, because no 100, again, we're talking here, if you ask persons to review this presentation, I'm sure I'm not going to get 10 stars, right? There's always room to improve. So if 100 persons leave you a review, you should not have 5 stars from 100 people. That sounds fishy. It's the same thing about incentivizing people to leave a review. It shouldn't feel like it's an obligation. It should be like, okay, we appreciate your business, right? 10% off your next purchase, right? For leaving us a review.
And following up in the line where you're going, Pat, excuse me, I'm taking a point of privilege again. One of the things that we've been talking about is how do we ensure that we as chamber members do business with one another, so business to business. So I'm going to put you on the spot again. And I know you said you're not building out a website in these 60 days. You're going to go in and help fix what might be broken or make some changes. Would you be able to offer chamber members a 10% discount for building their website?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. As I said, it's like,
so again,
contact us. And the same thing, like if they contact us and say, you need a new website, you're going to get a discount. If we decide, you know what, this is just a brand new setup, right? We will definitely give chamber members a 10% discount on their new website.
There
right?
You go.
Yeah.
Chamber working for you. Chamber members working with chamber members.
Yeah.
There we go. And actually, that was one of our questions that we got was approximately how much does a professionally designed website cost?
So that is always
I know that's not an easy question.
It's not an easy question, right? We had someone reach out to us recently, and we gave them a quote. They were not happy with the quote. I was like, what? It's like you really can get someone to create a website for you for $500, right? But you'll get a $500 website, right? So everybody, quote unquote, can create, right, a website, quote unquote, right? My high school students can create a website. They jump on Wix, they do boom, 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 right? With that said, it depends on your budget, right? If you know, hey, and like how the person's under rebranding, that's not someone that's serious about their online image, right? So it really depends on your budget. And for us, we like to say we're not the cheapest, we're not the most expensive, but we get it professionally done. And we don't give necessarily quotes off the top, right? I can tell you with us, if you're on the minimum, just a bare minimum, we don't create any website for less than $3,000. If you just want to see what money, a ballpark figure out there, right? Again, you can get someone to create a website for you for less than $3,000.
It's
right?
11 o'clock.
But our reputation is on the line, and we do it professionally. So that's, if you're on the professional website, you're looking at about that price, right? If you get someone to quote you less than $2,500, depending on what you're doing, I don't know. So it just depends. It's case by case, right? But if a company is quoting you $2,500 and above, that more likely is a nice professional price, right? But it depends on what you're looking to do. But if you want something professional done, that's the kind of figure you're looking at. Again, you can get it done for cheaper if it's like one person doing it. But if it's a company that's doing it, that's you're looking at that kind of price range. Starting.
Right, so we're gonna wrap up. It's getting to 11, and we have a few more questions. First, is from Karen Gentile, who is another chamber member and owns a translation company in Miami-Dade County. And she's asked, if none of your clients are ADA compliant, do you still need to include it on your website?
Yes. Yes. Like just for peace of mind. Like it's not need to, but you should use like another thing that's gonna happen as well. It's like Google might start ranking you higher for doing that. Right? A technology trend is there, you probably want to adopt it. Right? I wouldn't tell you to make it fully compliant because that could cost thousands of dollars. Oh, something else I forgot to mention about that, you can actually get a tax credit for taking that on. Get a tax credit for doing ADA, having your website ADA compliant and accessible. So you want to look more into that. Again, as I said, I give an entire presentation discussing all that. But the answer is yes, just for peace of mind and just in case someone goes to your website and for Google to rank you higher at some point because of that.
Patrick, I do remember you mentioned about the government requirements, some governments requiring ADA and compliance websites, and how that may be a factor in getting government contracts. Could you speak on that a little more?
Correct. If you're doing business with the government, it's a yes. Because it's law, right? So if you're doing business with the government, you need to have that. And if you ever read the millions of fine prints when they give you, somewhere in there it's snuck in, right? We actually had Miami-Dade public schools, right, actually redo the contract for public schools. And that was one of the key determining factors for them to take that on, that these school websites need to be ADA accessible or ADA compliant. So if you're doing business with the government, yes, you need to have your website ADA compliant or accessible.
All right. So we got another question. The last question from Joan Howard. Patrick, I'm considering contracting with a new website administrator. How do I go about getting my current webmaster to give me my new administrator access to my old archive? How has this,
Go ahead, sorry.
my content should be, should I pay additional fees to get this information so I can move forward?
Okay, so it's really a case-by-case basis. Hopefully you own your domain. So if you own your domain, right, that's the first step. If it's hosted on a domain that you own, I would ask him to really get my information, reach out to me, and I'll discuss it with him. But no, so we've heard a lot of that where web developers hijack customers' website, and it's really a bad taste in this community. And the web developers that do that, we always tell them it's a small world. You don't want to really mess people over, right? You want to treat everybody fairly. And we've had clients that have had this kind of situation, and we've helped them navigate through it, right? From owning the domain and getting the content that belongs to that domain. So if he wants to have a conversation with me about that, he can fill out the form or even give him my email, patrick@balambio.com. And all of them is case by case. But definitely if it's your domain, you can definitely get full control of that. You just have to prove that this company belongs to you. The content will depend on the agreement you have with the developer and where it's hosted to actually get the content or back-end access to it. But if he wants more clarification on how to go about doing that, and again, a lot of it is a case by case, he can reach out to me and I can walk him through how to navigate that.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Patrick. Do you have any last words to our audience about this website development? Anything you want to share?
The same things like the stuff I mentioned. Again, reach out to me. My company, Balambio, we've been here since 2012. I've been doing this for about 20 years. And one of the things I really enjoy doing is sharing information, right? That's the future professor in me, right? I like to share information, I like to share stuff that I know, and the master in the craft of doing that is something that I really look forward to really taking on. And we are very open, very accessible. And again, the chamber, I love this chamber. If you're not a member of this chamber, I think I told, he's no longer with the chamber anymore, but I don't remember his name right now. I told him, he's like, yeah, this is a join. I was like, nah, I don't know. I haven't had like how persons tell me sometimes they haven't had great relationship with web developers. I don't have a great relationship with chambers, but this chamber is on point. So this is I would say hands on the best chamber in Miami-Dade. I've been a member of a number of them. This is the best chamber in Miami-Dade.
Say it again, brother. Say it again.
And you guys are not paying me to do that, right?
Well, the one thing that people don't understand is, you know, they wonder why I didn't get anything out of it. Well, if you don't put anything into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. So we really appreciate what you have been putting into being a part of the chamber and giving back, but at the same time, and providing information and being an integral part of who we are and what we do. And it's about us connecting, working together. And we really appreciate the information that you brought today. Not only today, this isn't the first time. So again, we thank you.
All right, and thank you for the opportunity. And again, anybody on there, if you want to really get this consultation or update your website, you can go to balambio.com, click on services, and you can make a request. So Eric, Matthew, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Patrick. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining us today for this webinar on how to upgrade your online business presence with Patrick Alexander, the CEO of Balambio. This is, I said, this is part of one of many things that we're doing online as we move the chamber into an online platform. Later on today, we actually have a commissioner. Wait. All right, we actually have Commissioner Dennis Moss, who will be joining us today on during our member calls. One of the things that the chamber has done since COVID-19 started is host 4 o'clock daily calls with our members. And during this time, we're actually going to have Commissioner Dennis Moss, who's been on the panel for bringing Miami-Dade County into the new norm. So him and our president, Eric Knowles, will be talking about how to navigate your business through the expectations of the new normal and any challenges to expect. Next week, Thursday, we're going to have Dr. Delvina Thomas, who is a mental health board certified psychiatrist. And she's going to be talking about some of the mental health strategies for business owners during COVID-19. We know this is a challenge for many people to navigate, do business, manage families, and still provide an income for yourself and your business. So Dr. Delvina is a renowned therapist within our community, and she's going to be on next week, Thursday, to talk about some brain loving and mental health strategies. So as you know, with the Miami-Dade Chamber, we have quite a few services. One of the things that we do as a chamber is provide funding for business, technical assistance, and also micro loans. So we actually reduced our interest rate for our micro loan from 8% to 4%. These loans are provided for businesses in Miami-Dade County who have been in operations for at least a year for the lower tier, which is 5,000 to 10,000, and for the higher tiers, 10,000 to 25,000. You have to be registered in Miami-Dade County for 2 years. So you can go to our website to find out more. This is part of the plethora of services that we provide to business owners as a Miami-Dade County Chamber of Commerce, where we actually do one-on-one technical assistance workshops with business owners. So we will sit with you to assist you in preparing your loan applications, helping you with cash flow projections, business planning, certifications, and capability studies. That's one of the specializations of the Miami-Dade Chamber, is helping small business owners get legit, make sure that they have all their business documents in order so that they can go after capital and get government contracts. That is our specialty, and we sit one-on-one with business owners to provide that. So if you want to learn more, I strongly encourage you to go to our website at m-dcc.org to become a member of the chamber, to learn about our microloan program and our technical assistance programs, As you see, our contact information is there. Patrick's contact information is also there. You can send him an email or go to his website, www.balambio.com. Those are the things that we have as a part of the chamber. We strongly encourage you to join us on our 4 o'clock calls, because we are here for you, and that's what we're here for. So as we end off, we'd like to give our president, Mr. Eric Knowles, a few moments to share and close us out today for the chamber. So thank you very much for everyone, Patrick, Alexander, and for those that have joined us today. Thank you very much. And our president, Eric Knowles, you got it.
Hey, thank you, Matthew. And again, thank you for the great work that you do to bring these technical assistance workshops to our members and to the community. One item that we do have coming up next Wednesday at 4 o'clock is Althea Harris from the SBA. And Althea is going to give us an update on what's happening with the PPP program. If you all are, and I just heard this the other day, and speaking with the Beacon Council, Mike Finney was saying that he was talking to a business, and that business didn't know about the PPP program. So not to say that you've been under a rock, but there is still $98 billion in the second round of the PPP that has not been dispersed. And that's because of something similar to what Matthew just said, in terms of having your business, the back of your house in order. So as Matthew said, that's one thing we're here to help you do. And also the Beacon Council has biz.miami. So you can go there and get information, not only about the PPP program or the EIDL program, but many other things as far as jobs and business opportunities, as well as Beasley and Career Source South Florida. If you're looking for a job, you can go to Career Source South Florida. There are many jobs being listed there. I know that Congresswoman Wilson has a job listing on her website. So there are opportunities out there if you're looking for a job. So thank you for tuning in. Look forward. Hopefully we'll see you today at 4 o'clock on the Chamber's Daily 4 o'clock with Commissioner Moss. And as Matthew said, next week we have Dr. Delvina Thomas, and also we have Althea Harris with the SBA. So have a great day. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Thank you very much. Make sure y'all join the best chamber in Miami-Dade County, the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. Take care. Thank you.